Hey guys, what's going on? This is a little bit different of a video than I usually make because, again, this is another video with like stock recording I had just laying around in the background. That's probably going to be Arc Raiders. I've been playing that a lot, and I have a lot of footage that I can just use as background while I talk about other things. And I've been meaning to do a video like this for years. Like, I think like 2 years ago, I made a thumbnail for a top 10 video games list that I made, but I never got a chance to finish it. So here I'm gonna do the most bare minimum, like bones bare, basic fucking top 10s list that's ever existed because I didn't have time to record any footage for any of these games. And yeah, before we get started, I do want to disclaim that I have not played every game that's released this year. I really wanted to play a lot of games that come out that I really did not have a chance. Those being Clair Obscur, I probably only got like an hour in the beginning before I got busy with other games and other stuff. Silent Hill F, I really wanted to play, but I didn't have the money at the time. As you know, most people know, I'm a college student and work one job that doesn't pay a lot, so sometimes games just aren't just my priority. But I did get a chance to play a lot of games this year, and I think I made a list that's pretty decent. I think I've tried to play as much as I can. And like I said, didn't get to everything, got to a lot. I believe a lot of stuff. I mean, come on guys, this year was absolutely fucking bursting to the brim with games, and like it was just very difficult to actually play everything, and so did try my best to play as much as possible. So without further ado, here is PizzaPowers top 10 games of the year. Starting here at number 10, I have Elden Ring Night Rain. Now, Elden Ring Night Rain I know was very divisive at launch, and I know it recently just got some DLC, but I'm not counting the DLC into this because I have not yet played it myself. But Elden Ring Night Rain was super fun. I had me and two other friends played it at launch. Had tons of fun. We were just running around fucking killing bosses, doing a bunch of the stuff, and we had a blast. It's just like Elden Ring, like it's an Elden Ring roguelike with friends that is like brings back a bunch of old bosses, new bosses, and I thought the new bosses were great. Like, this game was absolutely fucking a blast, and I had tons of fun playing it. I don't understand the hate really, because it was like, the game entertained me, and that's all I really wanted. I didn't expect Elden Ring levels of storytelling and content, but like it was not advertised as that. It was advertised as an Elden Ring roguelike that you could play with friends, and that's exactly what I got from it, and I had a blast. Now, moving on to the number 9 spot, I have Doom: The Dark Ages. Now, this is another game I saw very mixed opinions on, and I don't really get the hate behind it. I found this game absolutely magnificent. I thought it was better than Doom 2016, in my opinion. I didn't think it was better than Eternal, as Eternal just activated more of the Doom neurons in my brain than Dark Ages was. But I love the combat in Dark Ages. I love how you could customize the speed. I loved all the weapons. This game was very challenging for me. I don't know if I'm just ass cheeks, but I was getting my ass kicked sometimes. And the parry mechanic was also really cool. I love the Doomslayer's new design. I love the dragon levels. I love the mech levels. I thought everything here was really good. A really solid package. Wish it was a little longer. The bosses are pretty cool. There's a lot of them are just like souped up versions of normal enemies, except for the final boss, which is very unique. But I don't really have anything else to say other than that. It's a Doom game that's in medieval times with more open levels, and I thought the open levels were cool. I like finding all the secrets. I spent multiple times on the levels looking for secrets. Thought that was pretty sick nasty. Now, moving on to my number 8 spot, I have Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, Monster Hunter Wilds released very early on this year, and me and my brother played the fuck out of it for the first 2 months that we had it. I bought it on launch, played it almost every day for like a month and a half, 2 months straight, and I did the main stuff, and then I was kind of just burnt out to the game after that. And I know that like for Monster Hunter, the real game starts after you beat the main story. So I know that's probably blasphemy to a lot of other Monster Hunter fans out there, players, but I was burnt out, man. I played it for so long. I did a lot of stuff. I hunted all the majority of the monsters. the sets for a lot of them, like full on sets or things. I didn't even need a lot of. I got so many fucking weapons. So much that was done in this game. I love this game. You know, I didn't really focus on the story, as I really didn't care, if I'm being honest, but the gameplay was super fun. I used the long sword for most of the time because I'm an anime weeb, and I thought that shit was sick. And I know my brother used like a bunch, like the great sword or the dual blades, and do an Attack on Titan shit, and that was fun. But yeah, like I said, this game was really great. I love the combat. I love the monsters. I love the semi-open world. Not really. It's not really an open world, but I liked all the stuff they did with it. I thought this was very fun, and I just wish I didn't burn myself out so much. Like I got so addicted to the game that I kind of just burned my own like interest in it, and that's not the game's fault. That's 100% my fault. I acknowledge that. But because of that, I didn't really get to do any of the post-game stuff. Now moving on to my number 7 spot, I actually have Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, Donkey Kong Bonanza was actually a game I was very, very, very hyped for. I am a big fan of the country games. I've played Country 1 and 2, and I played Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. Donkey Kong Country Returns was like one of the first games I ever had on my 3DS, and as a kid, I fucking, goddamn, I love that game. And so I was looking forward to Bonanza. Everything else they were showing, like the more and more footage they were showing at the Rex and stuff, I was getting more and more hyped for Bonanza. And Bonanza did not disappoint me. I think this is one of the greatest 3D platformers I've ever played. I liked almost like pretty much, like the camera can get a little wonky sometimes, but I think the only things that kind of let me down a little bit were the boss battles. I think the boss battles are where the game kind of falters a little bit, but I think the new Bonanza powers are cool. The story's pretty, it's pretty bare bone Nintendo, but I really didn't expect much from it. But you get a little bit of depth and there's a little bit of twists and turns in there. Music I thought was pretty good, but would really like put this game as one of my favorite like Nintendo games that like was the last 2 hours. It's gonna be probably not major spoilers. It's gonna be major spoilers for Donkey Kong. But like 2 hours before the game ends, it gets revealed that King K. Rool was actually trapped down there, and then he suddenly becomes the final boss. And once he gets revealed, that there's still like 2 more hours left in this game. Like you go chase him, you fight him, and then after you fight him, you get fake credits, and then he comes back for like the third time, like for like round 2, and then as you're like riding an elevator of golden bananas up to the surface, while a fucking bitch ass metal like remix of Gangplank Galleon plays, and that shit was like hype as fuck, bro. That shit was really good stuff. But then we also like get another fight with K. Rool, which is like, dude, the last 2 hours of this game are so magnificent. Like, you guys need to play this game just for the last 2 hours, but everything else about this game was pretty fun. I do think a little bit of the areas dragged on a little bit for me, and not all. Like I think one of the Bonanza powers I didn't really like the snake. That one was just okay, just lets you jump higher. I thought the other ones were cool, and I wish the game utilized more of what like the K. Rool stuff did, where you swap in between Bonanzas to do platforming challenges and cool stuff like that. Well, yeah, Donkey Kong, great game. Now, at my number 6 spot, I have Digimon Time Strangers. This was a game I had completely forgotten was coming out, but my brother had purchased it, and since I'm in his Steam family, I had a chance to play it myself, and I was thoroughly surprised at how much I actually enjoyed this game. I was not expecting to enjoy this game as much as I did. I am a big Digimon fan, always have been, though I do prefer Pokemon, but I grew up watching the Digimon cartoons. I loved all that shit, but none of the Digimon games have ever really grabbed me that well. I think majority of the Digimon games aren't the best, or just didn't like scratch the itch I was looking for, except for I think until Cyber Sleuth came out. I thought Cyber Sleuth was great. And Time Strangers is also great. I mean, because these are very, I don't want to call them, like they're turn-based RPGs where you get like, the way you like just handle and evolve Digimon in the battle systems, I thought was really cool. Yeah, I wish there was a little more in the character customization. I don't know, I guess that's not really, that's just a little nitpick, but that's my biggest complaint was playing throughout the game. But I liked the story, I liked the Digimon, the training stuff was pretty cool. Like put your Digimon on like specific training grounds to like get specific Digi evolutions you want. I thought that was very interesting, figuring out what I can get, what each Digimon evolves into. Because I know as someone who watches this show, I haven't seen any of the newer stuff, but as someone who has seen a lot of the older stuff, I knew what some of them turned into. Like, I knew the Agumon line, I knew all of the, like, the Digidestined Pokemon, fucking Pokemon, they're not Pokemon. I've watched all of them, but I knew some of them, but a lot of them were very new to me. Some of them were very, like, some of the designs of Digimon are very cool, some of them are not, so it was fun seeing all the different types I could get. But yeah, if you're a Digimon fan, I would definitely recommend picking this game up. Now, going on to the number 5 spot, I have a game that absolutely came out of nowhere and I was obsessed with for weeks, and I don't regret any bit of it, and that is Dispatch. Dispatch was a game that I had on my radar because Aaron Paul was critical and Jacksepticeye were all voice acting in it. I am very big fans of Aaron Paul. I'm a very big fan of Jacksepticeye, and I'm a very big fan of Voice Critical. So I believe this debuted at the Game Awards last year, and it caught my attention because, you know, it has a bunch of people that I enjoy in it, and it, you know, we hadn't heard a lot about it for a while. I know Voice Critical and Jacksepticeye talked about it a little bit on their channels, but, you know, for a while there was pretty much radio silence, and then we got the first few trailers, and it was coming out. I believe the first wave of episodes dropped in October. It was either October or November, but I'm pretty sure it was October. And the game pretty much went on until late November, if I remember correctly. And this game had me glued week to week. I was looking forward to a new episode dropping. For weeks. I loved the characters. I loved the voice acting. I loved everything this game did. I loved the story. This game it just checked every box off for me. And it was cool, like, seeing other people's reactions online to, like, the game and stuff. That was cool because, like, me and my brother were playing this week, but we talk about it, our theories and stuff, and that this game just checked every box for me. I loved the gameplay loop of sending out, like, heroes onto missions and seeing if the stats actually align and you get a successful mission completion. Like, that stuff had me hooked. I actually genuinely enjoyed the gameplay loop along with the story and other stuff. So yeah, this game was just great. My only issue is that I want more of it. Now, moving on to the number 4 spot, I actually have Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, this game is a game I picked up only, like, on Christmas, and I've been playing it ever since then. But I've been thoroughly enjoying myself. Now, I don't think I've really talked about my love for Pokemon on my channel before, but I'm a very big Pokemon fan. I've played every single Pokemon game that's ever been released. Mainline, I haven't played a lot of the spin-offs, but every single Pokemon game that's ever been released mainline-wise, I've played, starting from, like, Gen 1. I think we're on, like, Gen 9 now. And I'm a very big fan. There's only very few Pokemon games I don't like. I'm one of the defenders of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as that's one of my top 3 favorite Pokemon games of all time. Genuinely really like those games. And Pokemon ZA, I've seen get a lot of hate for its graphical-wise, for, like, graphics and stuff, but that stuff's never really bothered me. I think this game plays and, you know, it's just fine. And if anybody didn't point out the fact that some of the windows were just like stickers on the wall, then I genuinely would have noticed. That's not something I pay attention to, but I love the change up to the battle system, how it's not like turn-based. You're in like a little, like you were walking around and having like an actual 3D fight. That change up was really cool. I enjoyed the characters. The characters really fun. I enjoyed the story. And I just enjoy just playing a Pokemon game again. This game, I'm a big Pokemon fan forever. I always will be. And this game scratched every box for me. I'm so glad they brought back Mega Evolutions. I wish a lot of the designs were better than they are, because, you know, I don't like all of them, but I like majority of them are fine or just really good. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. The gameplay loop was just really fun to me. I thought this game was really fun, and I need to have a little more time with it, but it generally might be up there on like my top Pokemon games, because it's just an honest surprise, because no one had faith in this game going into it, and a lot of people still didn't like it after release, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself playing it. So yeah, I recommend, if you guys have a Switch 2, I'd recommend getting it. I don't think it's probably worth getting it on Switch 1, but Switch 2, it plays and runs fine. I don't know, man. This game just worked for me. I like the Wild Zone areas. I like the promotion matches. I like the story. I like all the stuff you could do in it, the world. But the side missions had me a little hooked. On to the top three, and at number three, I actually have Metroid Prime 4. Now, this is a game I have been looking forward to for years. I'm a big Metroid fan, and I didn't jump into the series until recently. Like, the first Metroid game I played was Dread back in like 2021. I got it for my birthday, and I've been a Metroid fan since. I've gone back and played Zero Mission, Fusion, Super Metroid, Prime 1. I haven't had a chance to play Prime 2 or 3 because they're not the most readily available Metroid games to play, but I've tried my best to play the entire series, and I've loved them. I'm a big Metroidvania fan in general. Like, I like that style of game. Those games really have, like, hit a lot of, like, those games are really good. And Prime 4 was announced like 8 years ago or something like that. Like, back when the Switch one was first announced, we got Prime 4. So I've been looking forward to this game forever, and I am not really disappointed. I don't think it's as good as Prime 1 remastered or in any or Dread, but I enjoyed it more than a lot of like the Game Boy Advance games like Zero Mission or Fusion. Because I don't know, I like the Prime first person style a lot, and I like the characters as well. The music in this game is also like fantastic. Like the Silex fights go insane with this music. Another thing I really enjoyed was the like side characters. A lot of people were worried when this game came out because it had like other characters besides Samus, but I actually really enjoyed that. I don't know. It was cool going around like areas with like NPCs. Like, it just made the world feel alive, and like that Samus is the only fucking person that ever exists. I do wish Samus speaks a little more because she's kind of just like a blank robot majority of the time. But that's besides the point. But yeah, my biggest complaint would probably be like the desert levels. It's like, I'm pretty sure everyone saw that comment, but like the motorcycle sections in the big open desert area were kind of just, there's like nothing to do there besides get a few upgrades and collect green crystals. And that wasn't really that fun. I wish they had done something different and made the desert more lively, because the motorcycle I thought was cool. I like driving the motorcycle. I just didn't like the stuff I could find with them. Like, it just wasn't that interesting. But yeah, other than that, really enjoyed myself with Metroid Prime 4. Now, at the number 2 spot, I have First Berserker Kazan. This is a game that kind of caught me out of nowhere. I was looking forward to it because I'd seen a bunch of gameplay and promotional videos about it, and I thought it looked sick, as I'm a big Souls-like fan. But the actual game itself actually kind of surprised me, because I didn't think the combat would be as in-depth as it is. Like, I chose the greatsword as my main weapon, and this is probably the best greatsword combat I've ever played in any game. Like, there's so much more to the combat than I actually thought there was at first glance. I thought it was going to be the traditional Souls-like where you have a heavy and a light. But no, you can do like combos and chain into stuff, parries, killing the combos and the charge. And like, there's so much depth to the combat system than I thought there was. And the story, it's serviceable. The bosses are really good. The levels themselves are really good. There's actually a very diverse number of enemies in this game than I was expecting. The bosses are very diverse. There's a lot of stuff in here that just caught me off guard. I just wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting this level of depth to a lot of the game. I was expecting just to be one of the most Souls-like, but it completely blew me out of the water. And I wish more people played it. My only biggest gripe would probably have to be the side missions. The side missions are kind of lame. You just go through previous levels and do other different objectives. Sometimes they even have you fighting the same bosses, and that could have been handled better. The side missions are kind of lame, but everything else of this game was absolutely fantastic, and I 100% recommend that you guys give it a chance. It's very challenging, very punishing, but very rewarding, and I love that in the game. Now, in the number 1 spot, I have Hollow Knight Silksong. Now, I didn't have to wait for this game as long as other people did, as I'm sure majority of the people who view my channel know. I didn't play the first Hollow Knight till like last year or earlier this year. It was sometime either late last year or early this year that I completed Hollow Knight for the first time. And I thought it was a good game. I don't think I loved it as much as everyone else did. 100% did not love it as much as everyone else did. And in fact, but I was still hyped for Silksong. I love the way the game looked. As one of my biggest compliments of Hollow Knight is that I think the world structure is pretty good, and I think the game looks really good. Now, when I got my hands on Silksong, though, I'm not gonna lie. I think this game is better than the original in pretty much every way. I thought the game was more challenging, which I liked. I thought the combat flowed better. I liked the bosses better. I liked the characters better. I liked almost everything better. I liked the crest system. I like the stuff you can add on the crest system. I like all the sub weapons you can find, the little buffs you can find on the bosses. I just genuinely got hooked on this game, and I'm not even sick with it. I did the true ending, which I didn't even do for the original. I got to Act 3 and did the true ending. And I thought all of that was great. I got all the crests. I did try to do majority of the side missions. I did all the bulletin missions. I found all of the worms. Like, this game is so good. And I genuinely think it's better than the original in every way possible. The only aspect that, like, the only thing negative I have for this is the same negative I have for the first game, is that I hate the way the map system is done. I think this game does a little better. You can always summon the map lady back to the Bell Town, but other than that, I don't like how I have to find the map lady. I have struggled finding the map lady. Like until I find the map lady, I'm just wandering in darkness, and that's not a big thing I liked. Another major complaint I have about this game is that I don't think all the bosses. I know I just compliment the bosses, but I don't think all the bosses are like misses. I like hits. There's a lot of gauntlet bosses, which I got very annoyed of very fast. I think Crust King Khan was one of them. I hated that boss fight. I hated the bog beast. Everyone hates the bog beast. That's no surprise. There's just a lot of bosses that make you go through gauntlets before you actually fight them, and I just was not a big fan of that game design. Like, if Team Cherry ever hears feedback, I hope that in their next game they just don't do that, because that was generally a really big sour point for me. But yeah, that's been my list, guys. I just apologize if this was really unorganized and I didn't get all my thoughts across. I don't have a script. I'm literally just reading. I have a blank piece of paper right in front of me that has the numbers 1 through 10 listed and the games written next to them, so that way I know what order I'm speaking in. But other than that, I have nothing else written down, so a lot of this is going to be me rambling, and I apologize for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, subscribing. I want to make one more video before the year goes out, but let's see if I get a chance to do that. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please comment. If you guys agree, if you disagree, just comment. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys disagree, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah, see you on the next one. Peace out.